All right, guys, it's great to see you all. And Scott, we're going to welcome you for the first time. We feel like we've known you. We feel like we've been talking to you for a few months. Now, I have spoken to you like on the phone and whatnot, but Skylar and Jimmy, Scott, Skylar and Jimmy, which you guys know each other, but it's like the first time ever. So this is fun. Scott, you run a Rivian channel, or not a Rivian channel, a YouTube channel about Rivian. Rivian Dad. And so we've watched your work. Folks, if you have not checked it out, you're missing out. So do the search for Rivian Dad. Look in the description. We'll have a link there. And just a lot of great videos, well put together, well produced, well edited. You know, we just kind of have diarrhea of the mouth and talk about Rivian. You actually work and make it look awesome and nice. So way to go. And so check that out. Tell us real quick, like, how Rivian Dad started, where you're at now, where you're going.
Well, it actually started a while ago during COVID. I do video production work and film. I'm a documentary filmmaker by trade, and then during COVID, everything kind of went away, right, as far as work and so on. And I had so much creative energy, but at the same time, I was introduced to this amazing new truck. And I was obsessing about that, like you three were, I'm sure, for hours. And then my wife is like, hey, just do something with all this energy. And I thought, okay, well, I'll put the two together and I'll at least spend some energy obsessing while I'm producing content at the same time. So that's where it started. And then I guess more to an origin story is back to my dad and my growing up in the mountains of southern Utah. We would spend our summers in the mountains, and we had a little makeshift cabin there. And I do mean makeshift. We didn't have running water or electricity or anything, but we would live there all summer long. And my four siblings and I and my parents, we would just spend the summer together. And it was something that was really a bonding experience for us all. And still to this day, we're really close because we'd spend the summers with each other. And so my wife Robin and I were thinking, okay, what can we do that's like that for our kids? And we live in Denver. We have mountains just nearby, and we just want to get up into the mountains and really enjoy that. But at the same time, I have guilt renting a truck and taking up in the mountains and leaving pollution behind. And so when the Rivian came along, once again, these were these two worlds coming together. And I thought, okay, this is a great way to sort of create an experience that our family can have, that we can just do together without the guilt of pollution and whatnot. And also I really love the whole transition to electric vehicles, and I really want to sort of encourage that and document that and enjoy that. And so that's kind of where that all was born, and that's why the Rivian Dad angle, because it's kind of a family thing to me as well, sort of future and family and all those things kind of rolled into one.
Super cool. Your most recent video is of you seeing an R1T in person. I'm going to go there. We'll show everyone a little bit of these clips in the background here, but can you just tell us as it goes through here, like your first overall impressions? And I know that you stated that on the video. Go watch the video, folks, but recap it here for us.
Well, to give a little bit of backstory, so this service center is actually only a mile or so from my house, and I knew it existed, but the last time I had been there was, it was just bricks, nothing developed. And then the other day, Robin, my wife, called me and said, "Scott, I'm following a Rivian." She had turned onto the road, and it was the car in front of her. So she recorded this video, and so I just basically followed her when she was following it, and then we converged together because I was super excited. And I walk in, as you see here, and there's the three Rivians. We talked to two of the three owners. They were both employees, and then I just wanted to do a sort of a around the area. Talked to the security guard, super nice guy. Everyone was really great. Of course, they wouldn't let me go inside. I did ask, but maybe someday. But first impressions, I mean, I used the word beautiful like 20 times in this video, and I didn't notice that until I watched the video recordings after I'd gotten home. And I mean, they really are just stunningly beautiful. A little smaller in person than I expected, but I think that's because they're crouched down in this scene here. and because they don't have any gear on the top or any racks or anything. But actually, I'm kind of okay with that because one of my concerns about owning a truck is that it'll be too much, like too big. So I sort of like the size of it. I was really impressed with the colors, and I originally I've originally configured the blue, and I think Robin and I have decided maybe the blue isn't the best choice right now. We actually really like the launch green. I haven't seen any of these three colors except these three colors in person. But all three of them were really stunning. They were super clean. I was really impressed with the tightness of everything. Those 22-inch wheels on that blue one were beautiful. I mean, I really wanted to climb in and drive it. I couldn't. But in fact, since these were people's vehicles, I was trying to be really respectful and not like touch them or poke my head in the windows or anything, you know. So I tried to keep a little distance while still getting as much as I could. Here you can see that one of them is driving into the service center, which I thought was interesting, and he honks on his way in. And then the colors, if you can see this, it's this El Cap granite, like in person, the colors are a lot more dynamic than I expected. Just so deep and lots of metal flakes in there. It was just really a pretty color.
Yep.
So all around, very impressed. It did nothing but make me more confused about what color I'm going to get.
Yeah, this is, you mentioned here, kind of like seeing a little bit of green reflection.
Yeah.
A lot of times you'll actually see blue in this color. It just depends on kind of like the color temperature that's coming at it. Now, all these look like that they were black interiors. Yeah,
they were. All three of them were black. I was bummed about that. Although, like I said, I didn't look inside really carefully just because I didn't want to bother their vehicle. That might have been a green one, but I'm pretty sure they were all three black.
Yeah. And it's funny because it's almost like seeing a celebrity when you see your first Rivian in person.
It's true. I called Bruce afterward. You guys know Bruce. I'd done an interview with him too, and he said, "Yep, enjoy that permagrin." And sure enough, I have the permagrin. I still kind of do. And in fact, what was surprising is how impressed Robin was. She was really moved by the sighting of them. She was touched.
Oh wow, that's cool.
We've talked about him for so long that it's really fun to see it in person. So I have to figure out like, okay, how much of my positive impression was, just having built it up in my mind for so long versus the reality. And I think I'm pretty close to in between those two. Like, perhaps there was a little bit of extra excitement because of all the talk that we've had. But in reality, in person, they just look amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's been a general theme, is that pictures do not do these vehicles justice. Their overall presence and just kind of the way that they look and feel in person. And actually, the other thing that blew me away the first time that I saw these vehicles in person was when they're moving. And that sounds strange, but they just look powerful, and they have a presence in motion as well.
Oh, totally. That's a great way to put it. They got some sort of soul in them somehow. I don't know, man. They got some sort of magical touch for sure.
Great design.
Yeah, and you could tell the love was put into it. I mean, I mean that in a real way, not a cheesy way. Like they really do love making this vehicle, and they did a great job designing it. That was one of the first things that took me, is the design of it. I particularly like the unibody, the fact that it doesn't have this awful crack in between the front cab and the bed. And every time I see a truck now, I think, why in the world is there a giant crack in between those two things? I don't know, but it's something that bugs me. And so I really liked that aspect to it. And just the depth of the paint colors and the cleanliness of it all, it just seemed really nice. Yeah. Those, by the way, I say in the video, they're trucks, they're tow trucks to pick up vehicles that need to be repaired. But what I was told actually is that that's not the case. Those are delivery trucks. So they're intended to take trucks. Now, one thing to know about this is, I point out in the video, there are a couple of spots where you can see those little signs in the background. They've all been placed. It says delivery staging. There are a couple of signs that talk about washing station and so on. It looks like this facility here in Denver is ready to receive a whole bunch of trucks. So I was super excited about that. I mean, the fact that those signs are brand new and they're standing right there, like who would put them out if they weren't expecting to put a truck in that stall in the next week or two?
Has Denver officially opened as far as like posts on LinkedIn or Instagram or any of that we've noticed? I know Utah and Arizona have, Phoenix and Salt Lake have. Has Denver officially opened?
I don't know the answer to that, whether it's official or not, but by the status of that service center, it looks like they are, if not already, then they are ready to. And the one question that I had in my head the whole time is like, okay, how many actual employees are there here in Denver or in the area? Because they also pointed out that this center is a distribution center for New Mexico and Wyoming as well. So it's a regional distribution center. So how many people in those areas are actually employees who are buying a truck? I have no idea, but I kind of have to assume it can't be that many. And so I guess they're getting set up for customer deliveries. I can only assume. But based on the Rivian Stories site and the where you guys are doing a lot of the tracking there are a lot of Colorado and Denver reservation holders, and a lot of them are April, May, June, those kinds of things. So I don't know of anyone who's sooner than April, May, but there may be, who knows?
It is interesting how far along Denver, Phoenix, Salt Lake are. And then when you look at the tracker, like you said, Scott, there, April, May. And then you go to me, thankfully, in Florida, where they don't have a presence yet. And I'm March, April. And others in Florida are March, April, and there's no presence in Florida. Definitely interesting how they're ordering these up.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you guys probably would know better than I as far as where some of these service centers are opening, and I've tried to keep track of it, but I think there could be something with a regional approach too. So perhaps maybe the nearest service center to Florida is close enough for them to start delivering trucks there. I don't know. First of all, I just want to say thanks for having me. It's so cool to meet you guys, especially Jimmy and Skylar, who I've never met in person, but I feel like I know just because we've seen each other on videos for so long. And I've exchanged messages back and forth on the Rivian Stories site, and it's just really fun. And one of the great things about the Rivian Dad YouTube thing that I'm doing, and I'm sure you guys will agree, is just the whole community around it. It's been really fun to get to know people and to make new friends. And I hope that and I'm sure that this is building to something where we can genuinely have rallies together. You guys can come out to Utah or Colorado. We can hit the mountains, and I can come out there to Texas or Florida or Illinois or whatever. And, we can just really build on it. It's just been really, really fun. So thanks for that.
Yes. Yeah, I totally agree. The community is without a doubt one of my favorite things about being a Rivian enthusiast. I mean, so many incredible people from all over the country, all over North America, all over the world, in fact.
Yep, we were doing kind of like our favorite parts of 2021, and we kind of all ended with like definitely the community has been even better than, well, maybe not better than the trucks, but very close. All right, guys, thanks for watching. This is to be continued, so please do subscribe so you don't miss the next one. In the meantime, please do join us over at rivianstories.com. This really is a phenomenal community. It's the community for true Rivian fans and owners. You'll find a ton of great interaction and information, and you can even pick yourself up a t-shirt or sweatshirt. Thanks.